Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor and welcome back to another Total Victory Challenge. Now you know which campaign I'm going to be picking because you clicked on this video and it gives away into the title description. But one of the people who have, actually the first person to request the next campaign of the Total Victory Challenge that I should do would be Pearl of the Orient, which is contrast to the majority of you who wanted Second Korean War. And I do have to remark on your optimism. Basically, you guys say, okay, you did the easiest one, boost on pocket. You showed us how to crawl. Now do a triple backflip corkscrew into the Olympic-sized pool from a high diving board. That'd be great for us to do. And I kind of laughed at that. But we're going to instead learn how to run with Pearl of the Orient. As you can see, it is difficulty hard, and it is interesting. Is that there are a few parameters that we have to do in order to get the total victory. We could, if we do this wrong, we could win every fight, but we could also only achieve a major victory if we do something wrong. But hey, I've done this enough times. I'm pretty sure that I can accomplish this total victory challenge.
June 1982. The Falklands War, Margaret Thatcher's war, ends in a complete British victory. The Iron Lady is at the top of her popularity and influence. September 1982. While on an official visit to Beijing, the British Prime Minister expresses Britain's wish to see China extending the lease of Hong Kong. Deng Xiaoping counters this by putting forward China's will to recover all of its territories that are still under foreign administration. 1983. For a year, negotiations are pursued with no positive results. When they reach a deadlock, the Chinese premier bluntly states that he could walk in and take the whole lot this afternoon. Encouraged by her aura as a victorious war leader in the Falklands, the British Prime Minister takes up the gauntlet and orders the reinforcement of Hong Kong's garrison. In retaliation, China masses troops on Hong Kong's border, hoping to force her to reconsider Britain's position. 6 months later, the Iron Lady hasn't yielded an inch, and even convinces several Commonwealth states to stand alongside Britain. April 19th, 1984. When it was unable to recover through diplomacy, China decides to recover by force. On April 19th, 1984, at 1 minute past midnight, China recalls its ambassador to Great Britain after transmitting a last declaration of war.
Well, there we have it. General, the Chinese preparations to invade our war advance initially sought. Our intelligence estimates their troops will cross the border at dawn. Our task force is en route, but it will only reach the China Sea in about 10 days. You must absolutely keep Hong Kong out of the reach of Chinese troops until reinforcements arrive. The Prime Minister can start diplomatic negotiations. Needless to say, there will be greatly influenced by the outcome of the fighting. And he's just saying, oh, we've got logistics platforms, and, you know, we have all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. You've seen it a million times. So, how are we going to start this off? Well, first off, we're going to provide a little bit of historical context. That was pretty much mostly true all the way, even up to the point where he said he could walk in and take the whole lot this afternoon, that Chinese official. And what they didn't tell you in that 6 months time, they kind of said, oh, Commonwealth states joined and Hong Kong garrison was reinforced. What they didn't tell you is that a typhoon actually hit Hong Kong around that time and caused economic devastation, and then China accused Britain of basically using the economy for their own political gain while people were suffering, and that kind of led to the British ceding control of Hong Kong to China, formally giving it back to China. But also, an interesting tidbit, when he said, I can walk in and take this afternoon, apparently Margaret Thatcher's response is, you're right, there's nothing I can do to stop you, but then the world would know just how China really is and how it operates. So I found that as an interesting backlash and sick burn. But anyways, enough with history. We are here to play a video game of a simulation of events that could happen. And so, basically, we have it all organized like this. So the enemy is going to be hitting into new territories and North District. And for a long time, I would try to defend against just Sun Wan, if I just show the map, there's basically, you know, choke points here that the enemy would just come out of, and I would just focus all my troops into taking them out, where they would, you know, show up from here and here to defend. But the thing is that if you defend against, if they touch Sun Wan, it kind of guarantees that you will not get a total victory. Because if they touch any of these secondary objectives, you cannot get a total victory. It'd be like, oh, you let Chinese troops set foot, even just set foot here into these areas. Well, then China has a little bit more negotiating power because they got farther than we expected. So we're actually going to have to defend right here at new territories in North District. This line shall be drawn. They shall advance no farther. And first off, we've got a recon squad from SAS and Rovers. They're going to stay right here, and we're going to R&R them so we can get the cohesion up. And the next thing I want to point out is this helicopter squad. This helicopter squad, I have played this multiple times, I found can either show up into this region or this region. It can go either way, and that is actually a good response to what we're going to do with our tracked rapiers, our air defense convoy. And that is because we want to move them over here into Zunwan to counteract the helicopters. This is particularly important, so with air defense goes against the helicopters wherever they may go. It's best to just kind of just move it to Suwon, just so in case they move it over here. I've seen them hit both areas. I haven't been able to find a pattern. So at this opening line, this is what you sort of do. Next, we're going to move our Hong Kong squadron over here to the west. Now, we either go to Gulf or Romeo. Doesn't really matter which one we pick. I'm just going to pick Romeo, just for the hell of it. Tornado GR1s, we are going to, they are the cluster bombers. We are going to be putting them actually in the Northern District. And we will also be putting the Phantom 2s over there into the Northern District as well. We have these territorials. Now, this is a secondary objective, and they're like, oh, you have, basically you have militia here to hold off the assault. Well, the enemy's not going to get here in this playthrough. I've done this enough times, I know how to counteract them. So we're actually going to throw them into the new territories, just to give them a little bit of more cohesion, and they're basically just a service to cohesion. You're not really going to be using any of these troops to stop the attack into Shenzhen. So this just allows you to get more troops. Now, the Chinese, the forces that they have amassed, they're basically, they have, hang on, did they do it differently this time? No, they didn't. Okay, so generally they're going to throw a lot of their armor support over here. Oh, the 2A, they're actually going on the right side. That's interesting. Anyways, so I guess it kind of randomizes which way they go, but generally what I do, I move over onto the new territories. I move the Challenger 1 Mark 1s. They have 19 front armor and good AP power. They're basically going to wipe out anything Chinese tanks that come forward. Just the 4 of them by themselves are good. We're then going to need to go and look around, and we need to find the Chieftain Mark 10s. They are actually going to go up into the North District. These are the next best tank in the British arsenal. They don't have quite as good front armor, and if we take like these 2As, they have 16 AP, so they can present a bit of a challenge to these Chieftain Mark 10s. But we're just basically setting up a defense line for now. Chieftain Mark 5, I used to be able to put up into the new territories, but now that I've put in the militia as the infantry regiment into the new territories, I'm going to move the Scott Guards regiment into the North District, because we will need to be able to shore up the defenses. Chieftain Mark 5s have about, not as good, but they're still good tanks to go up against this tank force that's going to be massing against us as well. This anti-tank convoy, we're going to be moving up into Zunwan. They're going to be going up against to where the more heavier DTZ 59 2As and the Striker missiles are definitely going to be good in taking those out, as well as the Milan 2s. They're going to typically go here because there's a number of defensive buildings you can use, but there are also buildings here, so it's wherever the heavier tanks are going to be coming forward. We're going to be pushing them against. We're also going to be putting Harriers into this as well, because the Harriers are like the Sabres. They have rocket pods, but they have more of them, and they reload just as fast. So definitely good at strafing those areas. We have a Commandos regiment over here, and we are going to R&R them. They're not going to move because it will take a while to get around, and I have another plans for them. We have this logistics convoy is going to be moving up into Kolon, as well as this light tank battalion. These guys don't see much action until much later. I don't even think they'll even see any action, but we're still going to move them up all the same. And finally, after I've been talking so long on how I've been organizing my troops, we have these helicopters, these Gurkhas Regiment, the gunship convoy, and the logistics helicopter. We're going to move them all over into Naval Sector Echo. They're just going to hover there, and they're just going to wait. Like so. And that's how we're initially going to get up. The initial beginning is kind of stopgap maneuver. You're just trying to do the best you can to hold off the enemy, which usually have a typical advantage in these kind of campaigns of pushing into you. But anyways, shall see what happens. Yes, they're basically confirming that we have enemies coming in. This guy's saying, oh, we can now deploy Canadian troops. And this guy's saying, oh, we also have the carrier Illustrious. Alright, so they're going to push it to us. However, they can't attack us this turn because they are mainly tank battalions, and for some reason tanks only have 2 initiative. So they can use 2 initiative to move, but they can't attack the next turn, which costs 1 more initiative. So next thing we're going to do, we are going to get the HMS Illustrious. We're just going to put that down, and then we're going to move them up into Naval Sector Oscar. And the reason why I'm doing Naval Sector Oscar right here is basically to keep the enemy from retreating. Because sometimes if I get the total victory here, they'll retreat off into here, and then they'll try to flank around, cause headaches and trouble. And I want to keep them confined because I want to wipe them out. And I want to initiate a naval landing. So this Commando Regiment, something you probably didn't know or didn't pay much attention to, they've got naval. They've got Type 21s, which are bad. They're not the best, I'm going to admit, but they're still ships. And they have some Fremantles, which are basically ship mortars. But they do have some Centurions and Milans and everything, and they're actually going to provide a naval landing when they come up here through Naval Sector Mike. That's why we R&R'd them. We're actually going to embark them here into Naval Sector Lima. But you're saying, but what about the enemy fleet? They've got muskets and Chanteaus, which we can ignore, but muskets and Ludas. Those are quite deadly. Yes, they are. Fortunately, they've given us some Tornado GR-18s, which have a ground range of 5,250 meters, and these Ludas don't have that anti-air range. So we'll be able to strafe the Ludas with these Tornadoes, which are, fortunately, only 5 points. We'll put them into Kulon and throw it into Naval Sector Lima for the time being. There's also the advantage that Navy, despite being one of the more widely used modes of transportation in terms of heavy equipment, it only also has 2 initiatives, so they can't attack on the turn they move either. So they're just going to come in on that. And we're still going to be moving our stuff around. We're going to move the Hong Kong Regiment into Naval Sector Ecto as well. Basically hold off a wall, because especially against these helicopter regiments, they're going to try to swing around to the left and to the right. And we're going to stop them from getting to our secondary objectives. But now we're going to do something neat and tricky maneuver. We're going to move all the air forces down behind the new territories, because total victory works. When you get a total victory, the enemy retreats to the next sector that they control. Now, if you move your troops here and contest it, they no longer control the sector, so you get the total victory. They have nowhere to retreat to, so they default into being destroyed. But we're going to be doubly sure. If we check into Shenzhen, they have no CV. So if we attack Shenzhen, initiate the combat attack now, launch battle, he has to retreat. So now we control Shenzhen, and this new territories have nowhere to retreat to. We're also going to take out the North District, because there's nobody in Yantian. We're going to take the Chinooks, and we're going to put them here. And since there's no one there, these supply guys are like, haha, we control a 10-point sector all on our own. What are you going to do about it? give us the control of sector. So we're actually occupying China right now with our troops. And you're probably thinking, but what if the enemy attacked? Wouldn't they be forced to retreat? And if they come down both areas, then they won't have any way to retreat to. You're indeed correct. If we don't win North District, but since we're going to do the total victory challenge, North District will come under our control. So this guy would be forced to retreat down to North District if the enemy attacks the same turn that they move, but they probably won't because they still have only tanks. This elite infantry regiment is actually, I think, going to stay back and guard Pingu, which is their air base. But they also have the more tanks that are going to be coming in, and they're not really going to be attacking, at least I don't think. But just in case, the North District does allow us to retreat there. And in addition, the reason we have these strikers, we're going to move them up into the North District. We're going to have the carriers, they're going to move up here. And the helicopters are indeed going onto the right-hand side this time. They will sometimes show up left. We'll move the tracked rapiers and tracked rapiers FSAs over to the right side to counter those helicopters. Excuse me. We're going to be moving up the FOB and the Scorpion Light tanks as well. Let's see, I've embarked them. That's good. Now these guys, I just want to double check. Aha, yes. See, these are the superior tanks. The DTZ-88Bs are more superior than the DTZ-59-2As. As you can see, there's 60-point tank. These are what our Challenger 1s need to counter, but we also need to counter them with some ATGM support. So we're actually going to put our helicopter commandos regiment down. Yes, we're going to completely abandon Shenzhen because our goal is right now is to basically wipe out these two armored battalions and cut down the Chinese offensive at the beginning so that we don't have as many troops to deal with. And we also need to get our planes in. What does the enemy have? They've got J-7Cs, those are the 500 kilogram bombs, and they've got anti-air fighters. So that is a bit of an issue. So we're going to take these Phantom 2s. Normally I throw the Phantom 2s exclusively against the Q-5A 51As to counteract the cluster missile, but they do have 500 kilogram bombs, and we have already our tracked rapiers go into the right. So it seems like they do kind of differentiate, they kind of separate out. This isn't ideal. The ideal is that we'd have our air defense counteract against the helicopters, and then our aircraft would counter these Q-51As. But we are forced to do this just to counteract, not those guys, these 500 kilogram bombs. But we do have to be mindful of these J711Ms. So we're going to do this is not them. We do have some SAS with Stingers, so that is could help us out. In addition, we are also going to take these tornadoes, and we could put them here, but I think we're actually going to put them into North District to counteract the tanks here. We do have plenty of ways to deal with our tanks here. This North District has been a little bit more challenging, so I'm going to just keep the aircraft there. Just making sure, is everything set? Everything is set. Alright, good. We're going to begin this episode. Finally, no more of me talking. We're going to be attacking the new territories area. So let's begin. Alright, so how are we going to organize this defense? Well, the enemy is cut off. They're in Bravo. Because we came in from behind, they have no reinforcement point. And that is a huge advantage of our side. We're going to move the Pingaozer here. The enemy is going to have to push into Shenzhen or North District. What do? They kind of do both, but they focus mainly on Shenzhen at the beginning with a massive amount of troops here to try to push in. And that is where we're going to lay our trap. We have 4 Challenger 1 Mark 1s. We're going to actually put them between these set of buildings right here, and they'll automatically rotate to engage the enemy. We're also going to take these Milans, which are coming from the Gurkha's regiment helicopters, and whoops, I put that in the wrong spot. These guys are going to go... Whoa! Okay, that was my bad. I accidentally hit the launch battle instead of putting them down. Fortunately, I'm able to quickly reload because once you start this map here, it does a little quick save. So I'm able to show you how to quickly, when you mess up into a conflict, even if you're in the middle of the battle, you can quickly hit the escape load and quickly load up the campaign. So let's try this again with me less misclicking. Okay, Milan ones. We're going to be put here, and we're going to put the Pumas here. And normally I would put, sometimes I would have the javelins. They don't have the helicopters to worry about, though I'm going to put a 4 stack of blowpipes here. Blowpipes are absolutely abysmal. If you actually look into the blowpipe, it couldn't turn very quickly, and it didn't have the acceleration as most jets did. So in other words, if a plane was aggressing away, flying away from you, and you fired the blowpipe couldn't catch up. If the airplane flew overhead and you fired straight up, the missile couldn't curve fast enough to follow the plane. The best bet for you to shoot down a plane with a blowpipe is if the plane's coming directly at you with its strafing run or with its bombs. And that was your best bet to hit it with the blowpipe. So they're not, that's why they're, 20% accuracy, 15 point, really terrible AA units, but we're going to use them. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of AA. They can't actually bring in any aircraft, fortunately, because they don't have any Bravo sector, but we're going to keep them here just as precaution, and we can spare the points. Now, again, Challenger 1, Mark 1. So let's get you guys properly out into the field here, 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 and here. We're also going to get another couple of Milan M1s here. We're also going to distribute the stalwarts. Release the supply. Wait, come on. And we'll put you here. And we need to get a stalwart here. Now it's important that you guys just kind of line them up behind these buildings. That blocks the line of sight so the enemy can't shoot at them right away. We're also going to put a gazelle, just kind of hover right here over this building, and he's just going to be our eyes. He's got exceptional optics. He'll see where the enemy's coming. We also need to make sure they don't come on over here, so we're going to put a gazelle here. And with a helicopter, we are going to put 120 millimeter. And why am I putting 120 millimeter? And then sometimes, and I think the enemy does have, occasionally we'll have some helicopters that come forward, some ATGM helicopters. But what happens is that with this Lynx 3 that I'm putting here, it only has 4 Stinger missiles on it. Make sure your helicopters are flying too. Put it over the cliff. Yeah, but this Lynx 3 has 4 Stinger missiles. When it's out of Stinger missiles, what happens is that the helicopters just kind of group up, the eyeball to eyeball, stare at each other, nobody's shooting at each other, and yeah, that's just points that you can kill that you're not killing, and that's what the Lynx 20 millimeter does to fix that. We're also going to take this TOW 2, and we're going to put him back here as a bit of a reserve unit. And 35 points. Is there anything else? I guess they don't have the helicopters this time. Normally, if they have the helicopters in here and you brought the anti-air convoy here to counteract the helicopters, you'd also put the 20 millimeter. But since they don't have helicopters, we're going to... Oh, I can't miscalculate it. I thought we had 10 more points. Oh, that's right, from the blowpipes. Okay. I'm going to swap that up. I'm going to get 3 blowpipes, because honestly, we really won't need these blowpipes. And we are going to get the other Lynx TOW 2, and we are going to put him... back here. And you're basically just going to use these helicopters one at a time to pick off a tank. Do not advance. They do have AA defense that will stun these guys up. But you just stick back and let the tanks come to you. And when they're out of missiles, move them back. And then just move the other one up. And move the other one up. And you just, one at a time, just be efficient with your missiles, I should say. And I'll show you that in this battle here. So I'm going to launch the battle. I'm going to unload. Like I said, they're all grouped up here. These Pumas and these Sacralins, they were going to move you guys back here. These Pumas I'd like to put here to guard here, because there's sometimes if they have the anti-GM missiles, they'll move over here to around this mountain and shoot all your stalwarts, which is very annoying. Pumas are taking a little bit of action from the PGZ-80s, so I'm just going to actually move these guys a bit further back. These guys are stunned. Milans ahoy! They're going off. Again, they miss because they're not all that good. Oh, they're targeting our gazelle now. That is a little unfortunate. We're going to actually need to get another... Oh, they shoot down our gazelle. Okay, well, what do I know? how this works. Okay, so I'm going to move the Scimitar here. That's our emergency recon line defense, and we're going to, once we get enough points, get this recon squad. Our Challenger ones are going to provide the wall. DDD is taken out. We're going to bring this Puma back here, outside the range of the PGZ-80. Milan ones moving forward. They're taking out the DTZs. So they will take out the DTZs one hit. So these Milan F1s are good. Over here, the Lynx 3 is targeting against enemy forces. Oh, that guy is detract. We are going to move up and try to take him out. Another Hellfire missile takes it out. So he discards one missile. DDD taken out. And now we're going to let this guy fire free. We kind of can ignore here. As you can see, the stalwart, this one is out of ammo. I'm going to move you here. Land, unload, and then move back. These stalwarts are out of ammo, so we're just going to get them out of sight. And our Malines have done the majority of the damage. They're not going to be able to move forward. Lynx 3 is firing its last missile at the ZTZ-59. So now that it's out, we'll move him back, and we'll move this TOW 2 up. I am also going to bring this Chinook. We're going to move him... we'll move him back here. Today out of the range of the PGZ-80's range. TOW 2 is coming up. We're going to take out the DTZ-59-2s. I see that ZZZ, but it is defending against the AA, and these guys can actually be kind of scary. And we only need 300 more points, so we're just going to take our time and take out the enemy forces. I think I landed him here. I'm going to move him back here. I'm going to move the Lynx TOW 2 over here. Gazelle spots the enemy forces. I'm going to turn off the rocket pod. Let the TOW 2 do the work. Take out that recon truck. Very good. And now we're going to move PGZ-80. Oh, they are shooting at our Chinook. I did that wrong. I did that wrong. I did that wrong. Oh, I am so bad at this game. Fortunately, Chinook has enough health to survive being panicked, so we're going to move over here. Who are you shooting at? Oh, you're still shooting at the Chinook. Alright, so you're going to go here, and then you're going to here, and you're going to land. And the enemy's kind of... Yeah, I think we took out a majority of those tanks. I'm going to take these two Challenger 1 Marks 1s. I'm going to move them over to the side to take out those PGZ-80s. And they're going to be followed up by the Scimitar, which we'll spot for them. And we've had them successfully contained. I'm going to move my Gazelle back with the Lynx TOW 2. I don't know what the enemy is doing, but they're not winning, that's for sure. Oh, they're trying to sneak around with their ZTZs. I'm going to line you guys up over here. Scimitar, you need to move back. You need to move back. Okay. So now I see what they're trying to do. We need the Lynx TOW 2 to sneak around. You kind of have to respond to what the AI does. Come on, Challenger 1. Okay, so those PGZ-80s are taken out. Scimitar will have to move up. Alright. The green jackets are here. We don't need them. Oh, they retreated. They retreated. They can do that sometimes, but again, because they couldn't retreat, the tanks have been destroyed. So, beautiful sight. Kaboo! Enemy forces are wiped out. And now we're going to do the same for the North District. And the North District is the hardest at the initial beginning, because you have the potential. The reason why we threw in the extra troops here is that we need to get more points. We only have a total versus value of 6,450 points. We need to get this destruction points. If we didn't throw in the forces, it could be 1,000 or less, which gives you a small margin of losses that you can take before it no longer being a total victory. Oftentimes, if you don't do that, it will be just a major victory. So we just did that just to shore up our forces. We really aren't going to use a majority of these forces like Fusiliers or whatever. We're going to rely on our long range and our anti-air capabilities. So we are going to launch. And now the enemy is going to focus heavily on their helicopters at the start of this map. So first we're going to move our Sultan back into this forest area so that he's hidden. We are also going to take advantage of our Chieftain Mark 10. I have had rare cases where the enemy comes down this bridge, comes down here, and then come across this bridge. So we're going to have to stick him here, and he is going to be backed up. Recon-wise, we just need a Scimitar. And for a tank, we'll only need a Chieftain Mark 5. So this is all that we need over here on the right-hand side. We will need to have a regular track rapier. You want to pick the tracked rapiers over tracked rapiers FSAs, mainly because they have longer range against helicopters. Basically, shoot the helicopters at the range that they would be able to shoot your stuff normally. So we're going to put the tracked rapier there, and that should defend our little cluster of units here. And now we need to get all of our Milans out. We're going to put Milans here. We're going to put some Milans here. Do we want Milans there? No, we want the Milans here. And we're going to put a couple of javelins here. We're also going to put a couple of javelins here. And then we're going to get a couple more Milan Chus. These are Milan Chus. They're better than the ones that we had before. We're going to put them here. We are also going to put them here. And in terms of vehicles, we are going to be putting... I'm trying to figure out which I should focus first. I'm going to do the Chieftain Mark 10. So we're going to put you here, here. Do I need that many? No. Then I put one here, followed up by a ferret, swing fire ferret to C. We will also be putting the regular tracked rapier out here on the outside, as well as we will put a couple of strikers here and here, and that gives us enough points left over for another tank, Chieftain. Mark 10, we could go here, here. Try to remember how they push. I think we need another one here. Or do we? Yeah, we'll need another one there. And then the rest of the points we'll be bringing in on aircraft. All right, let's start the battle. Quickly unload. All you Saxons, get back into the forest. You sillies, you do nothing against tanks and helicopters. Oh, I just realized what the mistake I made. We're supposed to start with stalwarts. Yeah, I goofed. These guys are going to run out of ammo quickly. I'm tempted. Yeah, I'm tempted. I'm just going to do it again. I'll cut this bit out. This is just a quickly reload. We're just going to do that over again. You need to have the stalwarts out at the beginning because the Milans here will run out of ammo without the stalwarts. So again, we'll set this up. You guys, the treat, you'll be able to see the distribution of forces yet again. We're going to put the... I'm just going to put those there and there. I'm going to put a couple of javelins here. Again, we're going to put a couple of javelins. Let's see... here. And then the other two Milans. Here. Here. And then, so I don't forget, we're going to put our stalwarts here. And we're also going to put our stalwarts here. Okay? Okay, good. We got our troops there. Now we're going to get the Chieftain Mark 10 here, and then the tracked rapier here on the outside side. Sultan's there. Logistics. Command Mark 10 here. Recon. We have a scimitar and the. Let's get a veteran. Chieftain Mark 5. And yeah, also got to make sure we keep it protected. Oh. We're going to get a veteran. Come on. Stop it. There. Veteran tracked rapier. And this tracked rapier was going to be bedded up as well. Okay. And Chieftain Mark 10 with the ferret. Swing fire. And now I remember the proper way. We'll put the ferret here. And then we will put the striker here. And we will put a striker here. Okay, yeah, that looks more like it. I knew something was off. All right. Again, sorry for having to show again deployment of troops. Unload. Saxons go here. Yeah, in campaign, it's unusual. You do have to put your logistics at the very start because the enemy just has too many troops that will come down. They will overwhelm the ammo supply of your troops, and you need everything possible in order to keep the enemy at bay. The good news is we are getting a lot of command points, so we will be able to call in our aircraft fairly soon. And now we just kind of sit back and wait up here. Not as long as I thought. Here comes the enemy Hot 2s. I am going to then move the Blondes off. Javelins, get in there. Do your thing. And something I found interesting, the Javelins have to guide their missiles, so sometimes they will miss. That's another aspect of them missing. They have some helicopters flying across here as well. Here they are, moving, as I suspected. I am going to move the Track Rapier up just a little bit to make sure they don't get in range of the Chieftain Mark 10, because that is important. That is an expensive tank, and we cannot really afford those losses. Come on, Track Rapier, shoot it down. When missiles fired, boom. Okay, good. Javelin is targeting our stalwarts. Good job, Javelin. Alright. So we need to move them out. Alright. Move in there. Milan's will get in there. You have to play a little bit of hopscotch. Hot is shut down. Javelins are in range of this Hot. Yeah, these helicopters are the most annoying bit. You do have to shoot down the helicopters at the start. Alright. Well, we did that. Stalwarts used up a lot of fuel ammo for the Javelins. I'm going to move some Stalwarts back here as a precaution. As you can see, we haven't really brought anything yet. I will bring in this Tornado because they are coming across stacked up. And we are going to get a couple of Harriers. Cluster munition is ahoy. And damages it, but didn't quite kill them. We're going to send our Harriers out. Going. Come on. Harriers, you're supposed to go that way. Okay, fine. You can go and fly off in completely random directions. Our Chieftain Mark 10s are taking fire, but they are defended by all these ATGM missiles, and also their tank shells as well. There we go. The M1, oh, it's so close. They kind of know exact range. Here they are coming down this side. Javelins are going to be moving down the back. Milans, get in there. We need to take them out. Harriers need to come in. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that Harrier goes there. This Harrier will go here. We will be moving out the Chieftain Mark 10. Another one here. We will get another one here and here. And yeah. Rocket barrage, ahoy! These rockets can actually take out these tanks. On to the come through. Here comes the artillery. Thought these stalwarts are out of munitions. Another couple of stalwarts up, ready to defend. Oh, we lost a striker. That's something we'll bring up as a replacement. Alright, Chieftain Mark 10 is now going to be engaging. Now, they are getting close enough that they are going to be able to spot, but hold on, Milan 2. Good. Alright, so now these guys, they don't actually have any recon with them. They usually don't show up with recon, so they won't be able to see these vehicles firing from here. I'm going to send those Harrier after him. These guys are going to go after that cluster of 4. Right there. Everyone move our stalwarts over here. Here comes cluster munition as well as the rocket pods. Rocket pods take out the tank. That's good. Cluster, fire. Damages and stuns these ETZs and panics them. That's good. That's perfect for us. And now that's... Other than that, guys of panic will be moving these stalwarts up to take it out. This Chieftain Mark 10 and Striker should be able to take out these guys. Striker is shaken, but he is elite. And that is taken out. These guys are now going to start taking artillery fire. I'm just going to move the ferret back so that he can provide the recon outside of artillery range. This Striker is out of ammo, so I'm going to move him back. That stalwart is moving up just fine. Perfect time to move back. Chieftain Mark 10. He is going to get reinforcements soon. Alright, yeah, we're doing this quite well. These stalwarts, I'm going to move fast into here. These lads, I'm going to move across over here. Track Rapier. No. Alright, so I'm going to use these Harriers. Yeah, I'm just going to go straight for those. This guy's going to go for that M1. This one's going to go for this M1. They go in completely the wrong directions. Alright, you get out. They do have air defenses. You are going to focus on them. You're going to do a rocket prod that will stun them for the GR1s, or the GR1's just going to completely outfly the GR3. You just get out. You're not doing anything. Alright, we're going to get more Harriers for rapid response. Cluster munitions, ahoy! They do hit the DTDs a little bit. DTDs are going to be taking fire by the M2s. Oh, there's the artillery right... I think right here?
It's gonna rain down on them crawlers.
Alright, so those rocket bots take them out. Oop. Yep, they're firing again. Don't get the tornadoes. Where are they? Gonna get them out. There. Oh, perfect. Right on target. Up there's the AA. M1. Dropping cluster munitions. There we go. I think we may have actually killed one with the rocket pods. Oop, I saw a lot of sparks. Boom. Okay, that's a lot of artillery. That is now no longer artillery. These stalwarts are now out of fuel. As you can see, Milanchus are fuel heavy. We're going to move this striker back again. And we've pretty much won this. We haven't taken hardly any losses, I don't think. I mean, we have taken some, but I think we'll be alright. I'm just going to move a scimitar here in case the enemy does something they don't normally do. BTZ-80 is taken out. These stalwarts are now out of munitions. Milan 2 is going to fire. Going for the ZTZ-59. Takes him out. Alright, again, we're just sitting back and defending. We've taken out their artillery. That was the biggest issue. I don't know how much we've lost since the start of this fight. I don't think too much. Maybe just like a striker. That's it. Here comes another ZTZ-59 2A. The enemy is now coming in piecemeal, which suits us perfectly fine. I don't even need to bring in any Harriers or the like. We do need to be mindful of their Q5Ds with their cluster munitions. Those can be a bit of a threat as well. Milan 2s, yay! The elite one is able to acquire the target. Good chance of hitting. Side shot. And I guess we could just kind of speed this up very fast. Let the enemy come to us. Here comes another tank. Up. Here comes more. So we need to...
Someone need a guardian angel?
I'm just going to bring in the Harriers just as insurance to make sure that they don't have a chance to fire anything. This Milan 2 will fire, probably take it out. M1 is moving it over there. I'm going to move the tracked rapier over, try to take out that M1. Alright. No? Okay.
Pack up
Fine.
your gear, people. We're moving again.
Now they're coming across the bridge. Okay.
Sky is ours.
Actually, I'm going to move right there. That would be a good spot for cluster munition, being how fast they're moving. This should take out all the tanks. M2 is firing his last shot. Takes out tanks. Alright. So now that they're funneled there successfully, they have new territory, so that's fine. Scimitar is watching for any sneaky maneuvers that might be coming that way. And the ZTD-59's no threat whatsoever. Who keeps saying they've been engaged? Oh, you're in fire. Ah, you're funny. You're funny. Alright, I'm just going to exacerbate and speed this up. Let's just kill stuff. Or, you know... Oh, good! You actually killed the Milan one. That's good. You are going to deviate. There is another M1 over there. Yeah, you'll take out that M1. Come on, let's get that M1. We just need points, 162 more points. Come on, Tier 3. The Chieftain Mark 10s are taking that out. You miss. Alright, Jack Rapier, get back. Alright, so GR3 has succeeded in that regard.
The captain and his crew welcome you aboard.
And we'll take out this last tank. See, they're coming in piecemeal. You just have to respond. You just have to have these Air Force be able to respond to which bridge they come across. As you can see, the Milanchus are kind of out of ammo now. Wow, you're a strong guy. Not so much for a Chieftain Mark 10, though. Alright, one more. This ZTD-59, as he moves up, should be the final straw, and then we should win. I'm going to move your striker up to be closer in range. Chieftain Mark 10 is now beginning to fire.
Roger that,
I'm actually just
fire.
going to move you up so that you're in range to be able to shoot. Oh, hello. We've got artillery. Oh, nope. We killed the tank. Phew! Yay! Total victory. How much did we lose? We lost 40 points. We only lost the striker. Phew! I was worried because when I was playing this, doing the practice run, sometimes I would get major victory, which would be a headache. But I think I managed to successfully hold that off. So again, since they have nowhere to retreat to, we have destroyed the attack helicopter, the independent tank battalion, and the tank regiment. And as you can see, it's a lot less China looking on this map on turn 1. So we're already off to a very good start. In fact, we are just going to end turn because there's actually not going to be any kind of advance, and I just want to gear up for the next episode. Now we have Anzac units. The Air Force moves back. And now they say, oh no, the enemy fleet's moving. Yes, well, we account for that. So they're moving out. They've taken Shenzhen, and they've taken Yantan, but they haven't attacked Yantan. So our Chinooks are fine. And from here, we can figure out whatever it is we want. So yeah, that's the opening opening to how to play Pearl of the Orient on, I guess, a Total Victory Challenge. I've been doing this quite a bit. It was like the other campaign, Boots on Pocket, figuring out the best kind of strategy and what the enemy kind of typically does. So I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next episode of this series.